to give you a chance to address criticism, some of the criticism that's come up about your handling of the hearing. People are saying that you lost control. Carlos Conde of Human Rights Watch told us that he felt that Duterte had hijacked the hearing, and also former Senator Ping Lacson tweeted that the upper chamber was invaded by Duterte. What do you think?
And yet they are happy that they have lots of material. Diba? So actually, I will just follow the advice of Dr. Willie Ong. Sabi niya, masyado niyang sineryoso yung mga bashing sa kanya, kaya siya nagka-cancer. So, wag na lang natin seryosohin yan. Kasi nga, as chairman, my mission was to be in the middle. Just to bring out the evidence and to receive the evidence and to hear the witnesses. Wala naman akong plano makipagdebate kung tama o mali ang opinion ng witness. So, mabuti na yan. Let's just put everything on record. And then these people who are criticizing me are at the same time very happy that they have lots of material available. Who made that possible? Sagutin nga nila. Anyway, I'll go back to the advice of Doc Willie Ong. Wag nang patulan ang mga bashers, ang mga negative comments. Gawin lang natin yung trabaho natin ng tama.
Curious lang ako, Senator Koko, before the hearing, medyo short notice rin, you guys were convened kind of suddenly. You just had a few days to prepare. Going into the hearing, did you have a strategy? Parang, ito yung gagawin ko, nasunod ba yun? Or parang, what was going through your mind? Ano yung initial plan mo going into one day's hearing?
Yes, just to be a neutral chairman nga and then to receive the evidence. But then, ito yung plano ko talaga. Because sabi ko nga, this is a blue ribbon hearing. So dapat, this is about, the allegation is, someone in government made some questionable actions or decisions. Ayun tawag nga na malfeasance, misfeasance, and nonfeasance. Kaya ang aking plano sana, uunahin namin pakinggan yung mga victim families. Umangal yung mga kasama ko. Kasi daw, we have a former president in our midst. Pakinggan daw muna yung opening statement. So, ang compromise na lang namin, sige, okay. Dahil sa former president na ang witness namin right before us, sabi ko, sige, okay. Pakinggan yung opening statement niya. But ang compromise namin, after him, we will hear the victim families. Yun naman ang nangyari. Yun naman ang natupad. So, yun lang yung strategy ko na hindi natupad kasi nga ang gusto ko sana victim families and then former President Duterte. Nagkabaliktad. Former President Duterte and then victim families.
Senator, don't you think the other senators could have pressed more on the statements that the former president was making, particularly on for example, the Davao Death Squad, on payments course through mooking for one, and to focus on what the committee was investigating on, because it turned the other way around, that the resource person was the one asking questions to the senators. And you don't see that all the time. That's why meron po nagsasabi na napunta yung control sa former president and he was acting like he was still boss in this hearing.
Well, okay lang yun. I mean, it will be more natural yung kanyang testimony and it's all recorded. And actually, for example, tinanong niya si Bato. Si Bato naman sumagot. So who are we? Who are we to stop Senator Bato from answering? Pero yung tinanong ni President Duterte yung si Colonel Grijaldo, hindi ko naman pinasagot na si Colonel Grijaldo. Sinabi ko, tapos na po yun, sir. Nasagot na po ni Colonel Grijaldo yun. So ganoon naman. So we were still in control of the hearing. Except that we really have a unique personality appearing before us. And ang attitude ko naman ganito Okay, this is a person who has served as president. So siya rin yung nag-implement ng war on drugs. So therefore, siguro marami rin tayong pwedeng matutunan makuha o maririnig galing sa taong ito na who held the highest post in the land. So that was my attitude. So I let him speak, no? So and then we request actually yung it's just the cursing na medyo na medyo hindi natin na control, although Senator Risa pointed this out and I requested him to try to minimize or eliminate it. Talagang hindi kaya. I mean, it's really his way of speaking. So ito siguro para malaman din pala ninyo, because I'm sure marami tayong mga viewers doon na akala nila na kasi nakita nila sa House hearing yung gaano kabilis yung mag-contempt, di ba? The subcommittee has no power to cite anybody in contempt, ha? So and we would not have done it anyway. But anyway, kung may power to cite wala kami power to cite in contempt. That's in our rules. So the power of the subcommittee is actually to, if there is an unruly person right before you and then you can no longer hold the hearing because of this unruly person, siguro the power of the subcommittee is to exclude, send out that person who is now disrupting the proceedings. Yung mga curse words, and then if we send him away, then wala na tayong testigo, di ba? So, tama rin naman si President Duterte, sabi niya, you invited me here. Actually, he was also invited. So, pakinggan natin yung taong inimbita natin.
Yeah. Senator, speaking of citing in contempt, we had Senator Bato de la Rosa here on the show last night. I'm just going to play a short soundbite for you to listen to and react. If I could just roll that soundbite of Senator Bato.
As I have said, yung Davao Death Squad creation ng media yan doon sa Davao. May namamatay. Pero yung Death Squad na sabi mo, inorganize talaga yan at organized. I don't think so.
But former President Duterte also pointed to you during the hearing. Sabi niya at one point, ikaw, Death Squad ka din.
Joke. Sabi niya, joke.
Senator, he was under oath when he said that. Kasi
So what? Bakit? Kung under oath siya, din na i-contempt nila.
Okay, so his last line was, kung under oath siya, di in contempt nila, meaning you the Senate, and
Alam nyo, I am the chairman of the subcommittee. Siyempre, mas pinag-aralan ko na yung rules namin. So, Senator
Right.
Bato is just operating under general rules. But Section 20 of our rules, yun yung, actually, Section 20 was quoted in the letter of the Blue Ribbon chairman to me. Ang sabi ng Section 20, you just ask your researchers to look at Section 20 of our Senate rules. And very, very clear po doon. At it's the opening paragraph of the letter of Senator Pia Cayetano to me for forming the subcommittee.
Yeah.
It's very, very clear doon, except the power to cite in contempt under Section 18 of our rules.
Right. So, Senator, I understand that part, that you can't cite him in contempt. But the question is, what do we make of that when they say it's a joke? His testimony is a joke, given he was under oath. And we were trying to find out, everyone was trying to find out, is there a Davao Death Squad? That is the question at the heart of it, right?
When we write the committee report, will we treat it as a joke? Yun ang tanong. Yun ang tanong. But just wait for the committee report. It's too early. I think it's also unfair that after just one hearing, we will already decide and we will already make up our minds. It's too early. I mean, we should have one or two more hearings and then we can now form our opinion. That's why I appreciated your earlier news report that the PNP is moving, because I really intend to invite the PNP chief in the next hearing kasi tatanungin ko nga siya. Now that you are the chief, what are you doing? You were, and then tatanungin din natin siya. What was your rank and position during the Duterte administration? And then siyempre mas lower level pa siya noon, di ba? And then tatanungin natin siya. When you were at that rank and position, did you hear this talk about this reward system.
Senator,
To be clear, this is PNP Chief General Romel Marbil. You
Correct.
want-
The current chief
Okay.
now, yes,
Okay,
Marbil.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I really intend to invite him sa next meeting. But
Okay, thank you.
I saw your news report na kumikilos na rin pala sila. So that's very good.
Okay.
okay. Senator Koko, one of the things that wasn't answered, is just an addition to what Regina was saying earlier. Yun nga, parang the former president seemed to have several definitions as to what the death squad was, di ba? At alam na natin yan, no? At some point, tinuro niya yung dating PNP chief. At some point, yung gangsters daw. And you have also said that he will not be invited because there is no need for him to be at the succeeding hearings. I guess first question, Senator, may idea na ba tayo kung kailan yung next hearing? And second, how do we plan to answer these questions without the attendance of the former president? And to confirm what he said, kung alin ba talaga dun yung tama or all or none?
Alam mo, it's illogical to get all of our information from one person. We have to do some investigating ourselves, hindi ba? Kasi, sir, ano ba, A, B or C? Yan, gagawin na lang niya, dadagdagan niya D, E, or F just to confuse everybody. It's illogical to just keep on returning to one person and then and number one, force him to admit something, and then he is so wise that he will not admit it, therefore nothing will happen. So we have to do the investigation ourselves. That's why I will Senate yan. The Senate has to do its own thing, but of course we have the law enforcement agencies. The past 10 years, anong ginawa ninyo? The past 8 years or 10 years, Then sa next hearing, on the question on the next hearing, I was disappointed during the first hearing that Garma did not show up and Leonardo, but they had reasonable or legitimate excuses. So we are reasonable people, so we understand and we will allow it. But the next hearing must be scheduled in such a time or a period that Garma and Leonardo will be present before us.
Apart from the two policemen that you were talking about, are you also planning to look into the other definitions of a Davao death squad espoused by the president? Kung yung mga mayayaman daw sa Davao ang nagpopondo nito at yung mga gangsters. I mean, how do you investigate that? How do you find resource persons with that?
That's a good question for investigators. How do you investigate that? Do you even investigate that? Or swertihan that there is a whistleblower or some witness will volunteer some information. Sometimes swertihan din yan. So that's a very good question. But then relax lang muna tayo. Basta yung investigators natin ready and then we pursue the topics. But of course you cannot force the facts to come out if the statement is not true. 'Di ba? What if it is not true? How can all of a sudden then we can produce the witnesses? So we will just pursue and then investigate. We will rely on the very experienced investigators. Tignan natin yung lead. Ang tawag yata dyan, lead eh. If there are leads that we can follow.
Yeah.
But if there is no lead that we can follow, huwag natin pilitin because ayaw naman natin din na we are not, lang tayo rito, we are just an impartial chairman of an investigation and we want to receive as many testimony and evidence which are credible evidence. We want as much credible evidence that we can get.
Yeah. Senator Koko, I know you have to leave by 8:30, but just one last question very quickly. Former Senator Sonny Trillanes says the transcript of the Senate hearing has been transmitted to the ICC. The transcripts of the Quadcom hearings were previously transmitted already and duly received. I wonder if you know anything about this.
I need to ask the Blue Ribbon staff, okay? Remember, I am not the chairman of the Blue Ribbon. I am just a chairman of a subcommittee. So I need to ask the staff kung if someone has formally asked for the for certified true copies of transcript and other records.
Senator, I know you are a minority leader, but taking a look at the Senate hearing, it seems though that there were not enough voices to challenge the allies and also the former president. I mean, if taking a look at the whole power dynamic inside the room, do you think the senators could have done better and could do better in the hearings to come?
You ask them because I gave all of them 10 minutes each. So how they use the time given to them, they should be you asked to explain how they use the time given to them. So at saka, of course, the agenda is not really to pin down the former president, diba? So kanya-kanya, the agenda is to make him appear before us and hear his testimony. So one senator might want to ask some very sharp or very difficult to answer questions. One senator would probably want to praise the former president. So I gave them equal time. You ask them why they used their time that way, the way that they used it. So sagutin na po nila yon sa kanilang mga audience o sa kanilang mga constituents.
Okay. Well, thank you for allowing us to press you tonight and for making time for us. We're going to have to leave that there. Thank you so much for your time. Senator Koko Pimentel.